God dang it, why is the cursor still logging on into this little random egg shuttleware? Well, basically what this does is that this allows you can actually play through the entire stages again, yes, including bosses as well if I remember rightly, but except the fact that it's actually school-based instead of like the ranking system, so even then, it's one thing to point things out. So anyways, hey everybody, this is me, Chip here, and I'm Duffy Duck here. We are back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos, and yes, welcome back to more Let's Play of Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii. So, last time we actually did manage to explore Aquarium Park, and now we're going to continue on and move it on into the 6th level in the game, which I believe is known as Asteroid Coaster. So yeah, let's jump in, shall we? Yeah, exactly, for sure. So, anyway though.
Next stop, the Asteroid Coaster. Zoom along through and sometimes into space debris. Then lose your lunch in 0G.
So yes, as far as this place is suggested, that we will discuss more into that place as soon as we actually get into the actual place itself. And however though, we actually start things off, we're going to be coming across into a brand new wisp, which I believe is actually forms of, purple frenzy or something like that, or in this case, this little purple wisp, which, even then though, speaking of such though, this may actually be the final wisp we're going to be coming across into this entire game. But that wasn't just that though, however though, in the DS version, however though, it gets some 2 exclusive wisps, if you ever played the DS version, which are both Red Flame, which this allows you can actually perform this as a double jump if you're actually just trying to actually use the burst ability while holding down the jump button and just release that until you actually just jump up. And I believe if you do recall correctly that you're actually going to be able to actually just act like a screen nuke as well. If you every time you perform yourselves a little bit of a, just hold down the jump button, and that's all there is to say. And there's also another exclusive wisp, only exclusives on the DS version, which I believe is actually called the Violet Void. So even then though, we'll explain more details on that wisp. So anyways, here we have ourselves the Purple Frenzy, the last wisp power-up introduced in the Wii version of Sonic Colors. Basically what this does is that it feels exactly like how it does it where the Pac-Man usually does. Like, he actually eats everything. Like, every time you actually eat those little pillars, as you can see, every time you do that, then he'll actually start to grow bigger. So even then though, every time you more do it, then obviously the more bigger it becomes, and also it gives you a hell of a lot more points after doing so, every time when you actually just manage to likely let's say munch those pillars, basically. So even then, that's all there is to say about this power-up. So, for the most part, it controls exactly quite well. But I found that, for the most part, the only time I found it was a little bit too difficult and what have you with this particular power-up wisp is the fact that the 3D segments is actually a little bit more harder to control, especially when you're trying to, like, stay in the perfect straight line. However, though, it's not so bad on the 2D segment, which we'll get to that until when we actually get into the next set of few acts. So, yeah, there's not much else we can actually discuss for this point, ladies and gentlemen. Besides the fact that one thing I actually haven't mentioned this during the previous part of this particular Let's Play is the fact that we did manage to upscale our playthrough into 720p instead of the original 480p. Because what happens was though is that in 480p, what happens was though is that sometimes I found myself the picture quality looks a bit too pixelated at one point. However though, we actually figured this out until we actually just managed to set up this particular recording session in 720p. So that means we can actually perfectly see what is going on screen. So even then though, I've managed to actually just apologize for how this is happening. Because even then though, as far as at this point when we actually get into the latest Wii games and stuff like that, shoot. Oh, that anti-gravity almost messed me up right there. But at least we actually just hopefully try and concentrate at one point. So anyways, this is the reason why we decided to actually every now and then so that we're going to be setting those settings onto the component cables onto the Nintendo Wii footage as far as at this point until 720p comes into play, because obviously the quality itself is much more nicer. So yeah, speaking of the frenzy power up there, it's much more easy to control this thing within the 2D segment, but I found the 3D segments on this particular power-up was to control, but I found it was a lot more tougher to actually just to, take control of it, because sometimes it goes like a little bit too much of its own mesmerizing types of movements like this. So even though it's not so bad we're going to be doing right now, because we're obviously going to be finding ourselves the last red star ring. So even then though, I believe the last red star ring, and in fact we almost got them all, but assuming if you actually hit onto this little block over there, where basically that allows you to transport onto this little hook thing in addition to the last red ring. So There you go. So let's see what rank we can get. Even though despite the fact that we actually got an instant death on that little anti-gravity segment. So let's see what rank we can get. And I'm presuming we actually got ourselves an A rank. So even then, there's so many A ranks in this entire playthrough. There's never a moment until we get ourselves our D rank so far. Which is pretty good considering how the fact that we actually did play this game from time to time. Yeah, exactly for sure though, Daffy. Exactly for sure. So anyways, now we actually come across into the Purple Frenzy, which is now accessibility to any other level, so that'll be it for the new wisps introduced in this game. So, at least besides the point though, there's actually an equivalent version of Purple Frenzy, which is known as Violet Void, which basically does the exact same thing, but only on the DS version. And it's the fact that you can actually transform into a void instead of the Frenzy itself. Well, the concept-wise, it feels exactly like how it does it in Purple Frenzy for Violet Void, but except you can actually suck through everything, like rings and etc. So even then, yeah, think of like how it does it in Electric Shield from the old days of Sonic. So yeah, as far as we're concerned with this. And taking notes from Act 2, or in this case, I forget what I said. Taking notes from Eggman Land in the HD version of Sonic Unleashed is the fact that you have to dodge these little shuffling cubes over there, because if you stand really still, if you actually just manage to get pushed by these little shoved cubes in the background, that way you essentially going to be dead. So even then, I just have to stay sharp and be very fast and quick. So not much else to discuss right there. So here we are in Act 2 of Asteroid Coaster. So even then, yeah. As far as the level name suggests, we're going to be exploring a hell of a lot more asteroids and all that kinds of stuff. And some occasional, every once in a while, we're going to be coming across into these roller coaster rides every once in a while. So even then, though, it's a nice little thrilling place kind of thing about... What?! Oh, dang it. I totally forgot how to homing attack on that right there. So even then, that was our second death of this level. So don't expect that this is probably the hardest level in the game. Well, I won't say this is actually the hardest level in the entire game, but for the most part, it's not too shabby. It's just the fact that I haven't paid too much attention to it. So even then, that again, it has been a long time since we're actually going to be playing this game, since almost 2 years now. So speaking of 2 years old, in this case 2 years ago, I'm concerning that recently that I haven't established that earlier. It's the fact that recently during that even though that was usually back in during the 11th of June. One thing I actually want to clarify is that happy 7th anniversary of Super Mario Galaxy 2. And also not to mention that today was actually formed of the 26th of June. So what that means, we got 4 more days to go until the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is about to be launching. So I've heard from everyone else is going to be streaming onto that compilation game, which, sure, I'm still really excited for that. So yeah, pretty excited. So yeah, another thing I need to point things out though is that if you're a Harry Potter fan, or in this case a Harry Potter type of logical side of fans, it's the fact that today was actually formed of the 20th anniversary of the Harry Potter franchise. It all started back in 1997 when the Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone has been first released based on the books. So even then though, they're presuming on the book version of the Philosopher's Stone that managed to first released in 1997. So unlike the actual film though, however, it did usually came out in 2001 because of the WB type of logical side of things. So even then, definitely worth recommending these Harry Potter films if those would be very curious. So yeah, especially noticeable in the finale of the Harry Potter films. Oh man, the Harry Potter The Deadly Hallows Part 2 is probably the best of the entire saga so far for me though. Okay, so let's see what rank we get. Oh, nice, an S rank. Even though despite the fact that we already got in death on that level because of that, didn't have probably time to react to in the homing attack and stuff like that. Most notably on the springs, most likely. So apart from those side of things, Steffi, though, we did that pretty okay. So even then, that we did yeah. Okay, now for Act 3. So I believe in Act 3, you could actually just explore this stage for likely 2 different segments of the level. As you guys can tell, that you're going to have a different choice between these pink spikes wisp, or even the blue cube wisp. So even then though, it doesn't matter what wisp you're going to be using. So even then though, as long as we actually come across into this particular sequence right there, oh boy, here we go, so that's a yellow spring contraption yet again. So hopefully we're not going to mess things up at this point until when it gets to the point when we approach all the way towards the right. And even then though, for the most part it's not too bad, so you have to watch out for these little— oh, dang it, I did not meant to air boost. Ah, dang it, air boost, why? Why do you make his existence again? Well, to be honest, the air boost wasn't so bad after all, though, at least in my honest opinion about this. So, okay, so you have to be very careful right there so you don't want to get shoved over to this little background, to the foreground, so you can end up that just like it does in Kirby Triple Deluxe, and I believe also Kirby, Planet Robo Boss in the 3DS. So, anyways, so yeah, as you can tell, if you actually activate the blue button, what that allows you can actually just to deal with is that you can actually just manage to transform either to those two things. Is that obviously if you're able to actually transform to pink spikes, or even just use the blue cube wisp. So even then though, pretty self-explanatory kind of thing about it when it comes to this little strategy-wise. One thing I haven't mentioned about this is that I had some sort of a mistake on that particular point whenever as soon as you die in a level. What happens was though is that you actually get to keep your score count, so even then, that unlike any other, unlike it does any other Sonic games, that we seem to manage to, clarified, they actually just managed to, I don't know, like, you actually lose your score count every time you die. But I don't think it's noticeable in this game this time around, so even then, yeah. Oh, so close to get that, what do I was saying? Extra life. Oh, that rat. Anyways, now we move on to Act 4. So I believe Act 4 is going to be the shortest level, if I were to recall correctly. Because basically, we're going to be most likely exploring in this little Saturn ring. And what we're going to do in this section is to actually constantly quick-stepping onto those motorbugs, because even then, if you get hit by these motorbugs, you will realistically lose all of your rings. So, but jeez, we're so close to getting that extra life back after that death we actually encountered. It's weird though, actually, because considering how the fact that we already done 3 acts so far in this level, what happens was though is that we ended up dying like once per act. So even then though, I was more concerned about it doesn't happen on this particular act though, however though, so even then, yeah. I think this is actually the greatest level to actually just obtain the S rank from, because not to mention, if you're constantly doing the quick steps a lot, what happens was though is you get a lot of points, and even then though, like, oh yeah, in order to actually successfully finish this level off, I think we have to find ourselves our blue switch, and if we do that blue switch, if we do find that blue switch, then this allows us to actually get into the final part of the level, and also, I'm assuming it's more endless every time you actually bypass this blue switch, so even then though, if you activated that, then the 5th red and final red ring is going to be there, and also the gold ring. Let's see what rank we can get. Oh, nice, top-notch S rank. So even then though, that's because you know the red star rings we constantly be getting, and also it's a bunch of quick steps you can actually perform it too. So even then, that's what I can really imagine. So yeah, pretty great way to actually get yourselves an S rank on this act. So yeah.
What is this place? Whoa. This is where he converts them into the strange, negative aliens with the freaky energy.
Oh, there you are. I thought I lost you for a second. Did you find anything interesting? Look at all of them. He's captured thousands of aliens.
Don't worry. We'll get them out.
Sonic, I haven't seen Yacker for a while.
You'll have to excuse me, buddy. I have a generator to shut down.
Oh boy, looks like we got ourselves a little bit of a problematic going on, because as a result though, however, the aliens has been captured in this little particular machine, so we need to save them no matter what though, Chip. So anyways, now we move on to Act 5, we're gonna be coming across into both the Laser Wisp and also the Purple Frenzy Wisp. So even then, 2 wisps in 1 act, so even then though, let's see how this is going. Oh yeah, we got ourselves this particular gimmick makes a return ever since Sweet Mountain level, so just like last time, we have to step onto the switch most of the time, so that means you'll actually just manage to change those directions, so that should be pretty self-explanatory, so I don't know what's up there though, I'm pretty sure it's actually the red star ring for surely, so anyways, let's go ahead and munch these little nuggets until when we actually decide to get ourselves, not to mention, I'm assuming, I don't know if I recall correctly, okay, we don't get a slam effect on it, so even then, that's not much anything new about it, but anyway, we need to actually reach up here because of the red star ring, of course. And I believe every time I believe the next red star ring is going to be located onto this little black block, if I do recall correctly. I believe we actually destroyed it, don't we? Yes, in fact, we actually destroyed it. So yeah, let's continue. So yeah, expecting that how well we're going to be doing on this act, though. So even that, oh shoot, I totally forgot that these little the pistols is actually coming by. So yeah, that's a little bit odd. So yeah, enough of this little shenanigans. That yeah, that's all I can really say about this here. So anyways, it's time to munch those little boxes, including these Eggman robots. Yeah. Alright, so I think that's what we'll probably do for now. So I believe there's going to be quite a few red rings up the top part of the level. So even then, we'll hopefully if we actually try to find one. So there's one over there, which I don't know if we can actually reach over towards that. Nope, I don't think we can. But unless if we actually just manage to wall jump over towards here, then there's our third one. So let's see if we can actually get ourselves our fourth one. But even then, again, we're not gonna. We'll try our best if we actually collect them all. So. But even though it's not anything possible on all of the levels, so... Oh, I missed my timing jump. Oh, that was a little bit of a mistake there, but anyway. So let's see what rank we can get. Whoa! I'm not surprised, actually, because considering how the fact that we're doing so well in this level, so we got ourselves an instant S rank, so... Yeah, piece of cake. Yeah, I found this to be quite, not surprised, actually, because, you know... So, yeah. Bonus. I don't know why I say bonus for some reason, because even then, that's a nice little flawless victory right there. So, but even then, we only missed out on those 2 red star rings for surely, because even then, we didn't care about that. So anyways, now we move on to Act 6, the last act before the boss in Asteroid Coaster. So, yes, as far as the level suggests, that we're going to be spending most of the time just interact with the roller coaster sequence. So yeah, that's all the level's here for. So yeah, it looks kind of treacherous and kind of nerve-wracking at the same time by the looks of it. Because some of these rail coasters aren't exactly finished. But even then, that you have to quickly time your jumps until you actually just manage to jump off the roller coaster in the first place. If you manage to come across into those rainbow set of rings, and if you do that, then that's how you actually be practically going to be safe from. So. Jeez, look how much life we got so far. I think we're over about 70 or something. So even then, though, that 70 extra 1-ups, it should be quite a nice little life you see. So even then, that could be really helpful in these certain areas. So yeah, because again, that this game is really generous of extra lives. So yeah, that's what I can imagine. So I guess I should explain about the DS version exclusives features about this game has to actually, has to offer. In fact, we'll actually discuss more into that as soon as we actually get into this final part of this Let's Play. Ah, shoot, we actually got poked by the spikes. That's not a good sign. But anyways, I think that's gonna be, ah, shoot. Oh, jeez, it's like Lost Leopards on Act 3 all over again, like, getting hit by the spikes in the underwater at the same time, too. So, we only missed out only the first red ring. I'm assuming it's more accurately on the coaster section, so even then, I don't really know too much. So, hey, as long as we're actually going to be constantly swimming up, so even then, we can hopefully try to actually, Okay, let's use the purple frenzy just to begin with, so, yeah, that's what I can imagine. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure that... What?! How come I didn't use my wisp in the first place? Oh, I see. What happens was, though, is that similar to how it does it whenever you're trying to perform a Mega Mushroom power-up in New Super Mario Bros. On the DS. Every time when you actually just use the Mega Mushroom, once you're onto this little, when you actually go on top of this hard ceiling, what happens was, though, is that it just managed to actually just let the Mega Mushroom get into your item inventory and use Super Mario Bros. But I really don't think it's noticeable in this, so... Yeah, that was a bit of a big mistake right there, so, yeah. But hey, as long as we actually did manage to find those 2 red star rings in the first place, so hey, this is something. So yeah, for the most part, that Asteroid Coaster might be a little bit difficult for you guys if you actually first time play for this game. But apart from those side of things, as long as you actually get yourselves a ton of practice to begin with, then this level's not too bad. But even then, though, it's quite energetic too, especially when it comes to this music soundtrack. So even then, though, it's probably worth knowing for. Alright, so I believe that in this last section of Act 6 is that we need to actually defeat this little robot eye. Because occasionally he'll actually start to be using this little gravitational ability. And if you actually get onto this little purple vortex or something like that, you usually get floating around all over the place. And then in order to actually attack him, you must, it's all about timing and accuracy at the same time. So that you need to actually do a lock on homing attack timing aspects. And if you try to homing attack this just right, they should able to actually just to hit him. So yeah, that's all I could really imagine about this. So yeah, there we go. Act 6 is fully completed. And I believe this might actually be the last level we're going to be seeing those red star rings. Because after this, when we actually move on into the true final level in the game, then there aren't going to be exactly red rings to be collected at this point in time. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned with this, B rank will take. In fact, we haven't gotten a B rank ever since Planet Wisp somewhere, so even then though, it has been a while since then. Anyways, now time for the boss battle in Asteroid Coaster, so let's see how this boss battle actually contains.
You know, I don't like what you're doing to my friends in there. It's messed up, so I'm gonna mess you up. Yeah, that's right. I'm stretching. You got a problem with that? I want to be able to fully enjoy taking you apart without some pulled muscle slowing me down. Okay, now I'm ready. Of course, if you want to run away, please feel free. There's no shame in it. Well, maybe a little shame. You guys don't talk much, do you? Fair enough. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Alright, so here we go with the boss battle in Asteroid Coaster. Now, this is basically exactly similar to how it does it from Starlight Carnival version, but except the fact that it's usually in the reskin version of the exact same boss battle as from before. But except the fact that, and also another noticeable difference was though this time around though, is the fact that the attacking with him with this specific color power wisp is actually a little bit different this time. Instead of the laser wisp, unlike how it does it from before, now we actually get ourselves our orange rocket wisp. So even then, it has been a while since we actually saw this orange rocket wisp to begin with, ever since Aquarium Park. So this might be a perfect opportunity where that we can actually use that wisp power in the first place, because if you use that underneath this little airship fortress, then obviously you're able to deal twice as damage. So even then, pretty self-explanatory kind of thing about it. But anyway. Another noticeable difference between the Starlight Carnival version boss battle and the likes of this variation is the fact that occasionally at one point you start to actually shoot out these little asteroid rocks, which you have to desperately need to dodge. But then every time you dodge that, you should able to be fine. So even then, I lost the orange rocket wisp exponentially. But hopefully we can actually just manage to finish this boss battle up. So even then, yeah. Okay, so yeah, as you can see this little 2D section right there, we have to constantly dodge those little asteroid rocks, and even then, if you get touched one of those, then obviously you're gonna get hit. Also, you need to be very careful of is these little missile attacks, or in this case, these little projectiles and all that stuff. Every time at one point that this is what makes this boss battle get significantly harder than the likes of the other variations, is the fact that you're gonna be you need to actually keep yourself alive when it comes to grabbing those rings instantly. So even then though, that because of that though, however though, if you manage to die on this one boss battle, then you have to redo the whole fight again. So yeah, just like any other Sonic games at this point in time. So anyways, I'm assuming he's almost down already. So even then though, that sometimes it might take a little bit while to actually hit him. But even then though, I don't think we get ourselves an opportunity to use the orange rocket wisp to deal the twice as damage onto this guy. So. And yeah, that's all I can really say about this particular episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's just the fact that we actually on to almost towards the end of the game, actually. Because after all, that after we deal with this particular boss battle, then we're pretty much done with the 6th stage. So you can end up that, yeah. And yeah, that's all I can really mention about the, oh yeah, one more thing before we actually finish this episode off is that, oh yeah, we managed to defeat him. Is the fact that usually in the DS version of Sonic Colors did usually contain some special stages, which I've already established that earlier. And I believe in order to actually unlock those special stages in Sonic Colors for the DS is that much like any other old school Sonic games since Sonic the Hedgehog 1 and Sonic CD, is the fact that you have to collect 50 rings in order to actually reach the end of the act, and then you should be able to jump right in. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned with that. So anyways, that's it for Asteroid Coaster. So with that being said, if we manage to finish all 6 of these regular levels, all the interactive beams is being deactivated.
That was almost difficult.
Sonic, you did it!
Couldn't have done it without you, buddy.
Thanks. Hey, we both deserve some kind of reward.
Yeah, let's go to an amusement park or something.
All right, but one that's, you know, less evil than this one.
So, are all the aliens getting free?
Looks like it. Once the power went off, the locks vanished. I hope Yakker's okay.
I think he'll be fine. You don't think the weapon you were shot with still works?
Not without power flowing to it. I think we're all good.
That's what I like to hear.
Sweet! The tractor beams are gone. The planets are free.
Was there ever any doubt? I mean, really? Great job, buddy.
With all the generators destroyed, we can blow this joint and head home. We did it, dude.
I don't remember you fighting off any insane robots.
True. Well, good job to you on inventing a translator that allowed us to speak to the aliens and figure out exactly what we needed to do so we weren't running around the park looking like idiots. Oh no, wait. That was me.
Good point. Either way, we can get out of this crazy place and go home.
Looks like the aliens are happy to be going home too. I think we're in the middle of a party.
The middle? We are the party. I think we're their guests of honor.
Totally.
So yay, the day is saved, right? Right? Oh, wait a minute. We actually got ourselves one more level left before the actual game is over. Okay, so it turns out there's actually going to be this one last level in this entire game, which, even then though, let's just say right now we got to end things off here just from that. So 71 extra lives, which is actually quite a lot actually. Almost reached over to 99 considering how we've got too many deaths on this playthrough so far. But apart from that though, we should be able to be fine with that. So join us next time with Let's Play Sonic Colors for the Nintendo Wii. It's the fact that we're moving on into the last level in the game, which I believe is actually known as Terminal Velocity. So yeah, see you guys next time. Later fellas, see you guys then.